The stars above Earth vanished behind shadows of metal. Hundreds of warships descended into the Sol system in perfect formation, their hulls bristling with weapons the size of skyscrapers. They slid into orbit like predators circling prey. Civilians on Earth stared upward as night turned to a lattice of crimson lights. Entire cities paused, transfixed by the impossible scale of the alien fleet. The Galactic Empire had arrived. From orbit, Captain Elias Rourke watched the blockade tighten. The UHS Valkyrie, a warship built in secrecy, humanity's first step towards standing as equals among the stars, was dwarfed by the Armada. Against dreadnoughts stretching 10 kilometers long, his ship was a toothpick with guns. His crew whispered in hushed tones, staring at the impossible wall of metal closing in. "Transmitters are open," his communications officer said, her voice tense. "Every channel. They're demanding we listen." The view screen flared with the image of high-legged Varash Kothlin. The alien-scaled face was framed by ornate armor, his 4 golden eyes gleaming with practiced disdain. Behind him, banners of the Empire floated, symbols of dominance older than most civilizations in the quadrant. When he spoke, his voice boomed across every radio, every broadcast tower, every personal terminal on Earth. "Humans of Sol," Varash declared, each word a blow. "The Empire extends its hand. Kneel, and you may endure. Resist, and you will burn. Deliver tribute, resources, soldiers, obedience, and the galaxy will forget you were ever insolent." The silence that followed was suffocating. Entire cities held their breath. Varash leaned closer, his jaws curling into something resembling a smile. "You have 7 cycles to decide. Failure to comply will see your world reduced to ash. Do not mistake your recent discovery of faster-than-light travel for significance. You are children playing with sharpened sticks in a battlefield of titans." The transmission cut. Inside the Valkyrie's command deck, no one spoke at first. The ship hummed with restrained energy, waiting for orders. Rourke folded his arms, eyes fixed on the void where the fleet hung. His jaw tightened, but his voice was steady when he spoke. "Open a channel. Direct to the flagship." The officer hesitated. "Captain, Earth Command hasn't authorized." "Open it." A pause, then a nod. "Channel open." Varash reappeared on the screen, looking mildly amused. "Ah. One of the defiant primitives wishes to bark at me. Speak, then, human captain. Entertain me before your people choose the only path left to them." Elias Rourke met the alien's golden eyes without flinching. "We've heard your terms. We've heard the threat. My response is simple: humanity will not kneel." The legate chuckled, the sound like grinding stone. "Brave words. History is littered with the corpses of species who thought themselves brave. They all bled, they all fell, they all serve the Empire now in silence. Then history hasn't met us yet," Rourke said evenly. "We don't kneel. Not to kings, not to tyrants, and not to you." The alien's smile thinned. "I will enjoy making an example of you. You have 7 cycles. Use them wisely. They will be your last." The screen went black. Earth's leaders convened in emergency session. In underground bunkers, connected by quantum relays, presidents, premiers, and prime ministers argued furiously. Some shouted for surrender. Tribute was survival. Others demanded defiance, unwilling to watch humanity become another vassal in chains. Rourke sat in silence, listening. The bickering grated on him. They still didn't understand. Finally, when the voices reached a crescendo, he spoke. His words cut through the noise. "If we surrender, it doesn't end here," he said. "You think the Empire lets us live free after we kneel? They'll strip our resources, take our people, erase our culture piece by piece until we're nothing but slaves who forgot we were ever human. Tribute is extinction by another name." The room fell quiet. One minister leaned forward. "And if we resist? Their fleet is beyond anything we can fight. We lose either way." Rourke shook his head. "No. If we resist, we keep our soul. If we fight, even if we lose, the galaxy will know humanity stood. That's how you inspire hope. That's how you start the cracks in an empire built on fear. For a long moment, no one replied. Then the chairman of the council spoke, his voice heavy. Captain Rourke? You will deliver humanity's answer. Back aboard the Valkyrie, the crew worked in tense silence. The moment felt like standing at the edge of a cliff, toes hanging over the abyss. Rourke stood tall at the center of the command deck. Channel open, the officer confirmed. Varash appeared once more, smug and expectant. So soon? I admire efficiency. Have your leaders realized inevitability? Rourke's reply was calm, deliberate, each word clear enough to echo across both fleets. High Legate Varash. Humanity's answer is this: we are not your subjects. We are not your slaves. If you want Earth, come and take it. See what happens when you try to break us. For a heartbeat, silence. Then Varash laughed, a deep, resonant sound that filled the chamber with mockery. Defiance. Delicious. You will learn what it costs, human. Your species will scream, and I will burn the sound into the stars. The transmission ended. The blockade shifted into position. Imperial dreadnoughts aligned into a wall around Earth, each movement practiced and inevitable, as if they had done this countless times before. Weapons gleamed like storm clouds on the horizon. Rourke exhaled, slow and steady, hands tightening on the rail before him. He let his eyes linger on the vastness outside his viewport, ships large enough to swallow the Valkyrie whole, formations so precise they looked like the bones of a machine. Beside him, his first officer whispered, Captain, what if we can't stop them? Rourke didn't look away from the void. His voice was quiet, but every ear on the bridge caught it. They think we'll break. They have no idea who we are. The blockade had settled into orbit like a cage. Humanity's ships, a scattered fleet of corvettes, frigates, and the lone Valkyrie, faced the overwhelming might of the Empire's dreadnoughts. For days, the sky above Earth had been a frozen storm of alien metal, weapons silently tracking, engines humming in unison, waiting for the right moment to crush what they saw as mere insects. Captain Elias Rourke paced the command deck. Every screen displayed the enemy in perfect formation, a lattice of firepower so vast it could erase Earth a dozen times over. Yet, despite the disparity, he saw opportunity where others saw despair. Our fleet is small, he admitted to his officers, but they're predictable. Every Imperial captain trusts their protocols. Every one of them assumes we'll flinch. Lieutenant Caravas, tactical officer, leaned over the holographic display. Their sensors are precise, Captain. Any aggressive maneuver and they'll detect it immediately. Even a single corvette out of formation will be vaporized. Rourke's eyes didn't leave the array of enemy positions. Good. That means we can move without expectation. The moment they anticipate, they're already behind. We'll be shadows in their pattern, not targets. Voss frowned. You're suggesting we sneak around them? That's risky. If we're caught. He cut her off, voice calm but firm. We're not asking for luck. We're asking for cunning. Humanity has survived worse odds than this. On Earth, civilians worked tirelessly. Factories converted to weapons production, orbital stations loaded drones, supplies, and defensive grids. The human race had a week before Varash's ultimatum expired, but they would not wait helplessly. Rourke's communications officer interrupted. Captain, Varash is transmitting again. He's offering one last chance to surrender. He says Earth's destruction can still be avoided. Rourke straightened, gripping the rail. Connect me. The image of Varash filled the bridge. The alien's 4 eyes gleamed with the same arrogance that had defined him in previous transmissions. Captain Rourke? Varash's voice boomed, cold and deliberate. Your species clings to stubbornness like a child clings to a stone. Kneel now. Accept the Empire. Spare your world the inevitable suffering. Otherwise, I will dismantle it piece by piece, and your people will learn the meaning of helplessness. Elias leaned forward, calm, his tone precise. High Legate, we have studied your fleet. We know your strength. We also know the Empire's arrogance. We do not kneel. If destruction is what you desire, then come and take it. Humanity will meet you on its own terms. Varash's lips curled into a hiss of amusement. Then prepare to witness the cost of defiance. We will erase your world, and your name will be forgotten. The transmission cut. Silence returned, heavier than the weight of the ships themselves. Rourke turned to the tactical screens. Set up patrols along the orbital defense ring. Small corvettes 50 meters apart. Make them appear vulnerable. We want them to bite. Voss blinked. Bait them? A trap, Rourke corrected. If they follow the predictable line, they'll run straight into it. Over the next cycles, humanity moved like a ghost through the enemy's gaze. Corvettes slipped into asteroid belts, cloaking their heat signatures. Mines were laid along invisible trajectories, waiting for the Empire's overconfidence to guide them into destruction. Then it began. A single Imperial destroyer took the bait. Following the retreating corvette, it entered the asteroid field. Sensors tracked the movement, and for a moment, the alien captain believed in easy victory. A flash. Explosions erupted along the asteroid belt. Mines detonated with precise timing. The destroyer's hull ruptured, feeding into a chain reaction that shattered its command core. Shockwaves rippled through the fleet. Human fighters cheered silently at their screens. Rourke didn't smile. This is only the beginning, he muttered. They'll adapt, but so will we. Days passed in tense standoff. Skirmishes flared intermittently. Each Imperial officer learned that humans were more than stubborn. They were clever, unpredictable, and willing to die to protect their home. Rourke made a calculated decision: broadcast humanity's history across open channels. No threat, no boasting, simply the truth. Wars survived, empires defied, tyrants overthrown. Every citizen's story became a testament to human resilience. Varash's fleet heard it. Some officers whispered, some recoiled. The unyielding narrative of humanity unsettled even seasoned veterans. Doubt seeped into the Imperial ranks, unspoken but palpable. Varash, enraged, paced aboard his flagship. Primitive fools! How dare they remind us of what they endured? I will crush them myself if the fleet fails. Then came the reveal of humanity's secret weapon. Hidden deep within the Earth's defense grid, orbital railguns powered by the planet's energy core waited. When the Empire advanced toward the populated equatorial orbit, Rourke gave the order. The first dreadnought exploded in a blinding flash, tearing through its formation like a scythe through wheat. Human crews cheered, but Rourke's voice kept them grounded. Keep your focus, he said. We've sent a message, yes, but this is only phase 1. They'll come harder. They'll expect retaliation. We must be ready. Varash's face appeared again on the bridge screens, anger etched in every scale. You insolent insects! You cannot win! This is not defiance, it is suicide! Elias leaned forward, unflinching. Then consider it an invitation. The galaxy needs to see the price of underestimating humanity. As the cycles passed, the battle of will continued. Humanity held the line, not with brute force, but with strategy, cunning, and unity. Every corvette, frigate, and orbital battery played a part in a larger, unseen design, a dance of shadows against an opponent who thought in only one dimension: firepower. Rourke observed the Empire's movements with quiet intensity. They think overwhelming force guarantees victory, he said. They haven't met an enemy who uses their mind first and guns second. Voss shook her head. We're pushing the limits, Captain. Losses. We're buying time, he interrupted. Time for Earth. Time for humanity to show that we are not weak. And time for the galaxy to hear us before the Empire thinks it owns everything. By the final cycle of the chapter, the Empire's fleet was tense, their formation cracking under repeated skirmishes and unexpected losses. Varash's patience thinned. He ordered the entire fleet to prepare for a full assault, ignoring caution. Rourke gazed out at the darkened expanse, the lights of the alien ships like fireflies in a storm. He clenched his jaw. They're coming, he said. But we've made them bleed, and we've shown the galaxy who stands before the Empire. Let them come. Let them learn the cost of underestimating humanity. The standoff had escalated. The ultimatum had expired. Humanity was ready. The first shot struck Earth's orbital defenses like thunder. Imperial dreadnoughts unleashed beams that cut through satellites, burning channels of light across the black void. The Valkyrie rocked under concussive impacts, alarms screaming, warning lights painting the bridge in urgent red. "Shields holding at 73%, Lieutenant Voss shouted. "Their firepower, it's overwhelming." Elias Rourke gritted his teeth. "Steady. They're fast, but predictable. Keep formation tight. We move as one." The Empire's fleet advanced like a tidal wave, massive and relentless. Each dreadnought dwarfed the Valkyrie, but Elias saw patterns in their movement. He turned to his crew. "Phase 1 diversion," he ordered. "Frigates pull left. Corvettes fall back. Make them think we're braking. They'll follow, and that's when we hit." As human ships executed the maneuver, beams of light tore into empty space. The Valkyrie darted between volleys, exploiting every gap in the enemy's firing arcs. Even as explosions shook distant corvettes, the humans moved with purpose, not panic. Hidden within the orbital rings, humanity's traps waited. Asteroids laced with kinetic mines hung like sleeping beasts. Railgun turrets powered by the planet's energy grid tracked the invaders silently. "Incoming destroyer fleet," Voss called. "They've taken the bait." "Good," Rourke said. "Hold fire until they're in the kill zone." A moment later, coordinated detonations ripped through the destroyers. Hulls ruptured, engines tore apart, and debris scattered into the void. Human crews exhaled silently in unison. Victory tasted fleeting, but morale surged. Varash's voice suddenly filled every channel, booming with fury. "Captain Rourke! You insolent insect! You think clever tricks will save your world? You will burn, and your species will be erased from history." Elias leaned forward, calm, measured. "High Legate, consider this a demonstration. Humanity does not bow. Not now. Not ever." The battle escalated into chaos. Imperial dreadnoughts adapted, sending swarms of fighter drones to hunt human vessels. Corvettes dodged and spun, using asteroid cover, energy bursts, and rapid maneuvers to survive. Each strike felt like a gamble, each decision weighed in lives and momentum. Rourke's strategy combined brains and precision. Use the railguns sparingly. Target their command vessels. Disrupt their formation, but don't expose ours. Explosions illuminated the void, fire reflecting in Rourke's visor. A destroyer crumpled under a perfectly timed railgun strike, its remains drifting like shattered ice. Yet the Empire's fleet pressed on, relentless and massive. Voss's hands flew across controls. "They're pushing closer to Earth. If they break through." "They won't," Rourke said, his voice steady. "We fight not because we're equal in strength, but because we refuse to submit. That is our edge." Then came the decisive maneuver. The Valkyrie and remaining human vessels drew the Imperial flagship toward a calculated kill zone. Earth itself became a weapon, its energy grid powering the Atlas rail cannon, a secret humanity had kept hidden for decades. "Coordinates locked," Voss reported, voice trembling with anticipation. Rourke's eyes narrowed. "Fire when they're within range. One shot. Make it count." The cannon unleashed its payload, a concentrated mass accelerated to near light speed, tearing through the flagship's shields. The blast exploded outward, disintegrating hull plating, shattering weapons arrays, and sending debris streaming across nearby enemy ships. The flagship's bridge was obliterated. Varash's roar of fury echoed in the void just before silence claimed the channel. Other Imperial vessels faltered, confused and leaderless. Panic rippled through the formation. Human ships exploited the chaos, striking at weak points, disrupting engines, and forcing the retreat of surviving dreadnoughts. Varash, enraged but alive aboard a smaller command vessel, directed his remaining forces with desperation. His image flickered onto the Valkyrie's viewscreens. 4 eyes burned with rage. "You may have killed my flagship, human! But you will die with the rest of your world!" Elias did not hesitate. If death is what you bring, Legate, know this: humanity has never bowed. And we will not start with you. The final engagement became personal. Varash maneuvered aggressively, trying to crush the Valkyrie. Rourke matched him, using agility, anticipation, and the full capabilities of his crew. Blaster fire streaked between vessels, energy shields flared, and hulls groaned under the strain. The duel tested every ounce of strategy humanity had cultivated. A single misstep would mean annihilation. Yet Elias remained composed, exploiting the alien's arrogance. He drew Varash closer, closer to the path of the Atlas rail cannon. The final strike was precise. The cannon fired once more, obliterating Varash's vessel in a blinding flash. The shockwave shredded nearby ships. The Empire's formation crumbled, fear replaced confidence. What had been a wall of inevitability became scattered wreckage. Humanity's fleet, battered but alive, hovered in the aftermath. Silence followed the roar of engines, punctuated only by distant alarms. The Valkyrie remained steady, a single symbol of resistance against overwhelming odds. Rourke stood on the bridge, surveying the shattered fleet. His voice was quiet, but carried the weight of command. We've survived, yes. But more than that, we've been heard. Humanity has spoken. And the galaxy listened. Voss exhaled, finally allowing herself a smile. Captain, we did it. Against all odds, we did it. Elias nodded, not celebrating. Victory was temporary. The galaxy was still vast, still dangerous. But humanity had proven its will. Its defiance would echo. Across star systems, transmissions of the battle, of human ingenuity, courage, and refusal to bow, spread among species oppressed under the Empire's rule. The story of Earth became a beacon. For the first time in centuries, the Empire's name did not inspire fear. It inspired hesitation. And in that moment, Elias Rourke whispered not to the crew, not to the censors, but to the stars themselves. The last warning has echoed across the stars. And for the first time, they heard it. Humanity had survived. Human ingenuity had prevailed. And the legend of Earth, the species that refused to kneel, was born.